Welcome to SAT TV's news. I'm Shanna Esbury, your presenter. In our top stories, 5 killed, 1 critical in Suriname road carnage. Afghanistan, MP Fariba Amidi Kaka abducted in Ghazni. And in sports, Carlos Brathwaite keen to recover from injury. Details of these will follow.
Music is life, you don't know. And I'm all set and ready to blow. I got some places up there I wanna see. It's gonna be irate, yeah. So put your hand in the air just for me. I want it up for the world to see, 'cause I wanted you and me's a fire. I'll bring the flame. It's gonna be irate, yeah. Boom, this is Mr. Nye, and you're listening and watching SAT Telecoms. Boom!
Welcome back. Franklin Zamo, constructor of the Neg Mawo Emancipation Monument, a statue which symbolizes the fight for freedom and a triumph over adversities, and a sign of resilience and strength, said the idea surfaced over 5 years ago. The monument is located at the roundabout on the corner of Turkey Lane, Victoria Street and Castle Street, and pays tribute to the African slaves who were brought to Dominica. Mr. Zamo added that his idea originated from a conch shell, since it has significant meaning. History has proven that all the slaves utilized conch shells as a means of communication, and to date it is still being used in Dominica by fishermen.
So that was my idea of an individual standing with very little clothes on, a well-built individual that is blowing the conch shell. And that was presented to the Department of Culture, and it was approved. Once that was done, because it was just a sketch, I had them to present the sketch to a local artist in Kingfield, Hilburn Silver, who was able to represent that idea as a 3-dimensional object. That was presented to the Division of Culture. It was approved, and that's how the idea of the Neg Mawo as a monument for the government.
A lot of controversy arose due to the fact that there is a similar monument in Haiti. However, Mr. Zamo reiterated that the conch shell is utilized throughout the region. Therefore, certain Caribbean countries may depict the identical symbol.
Well, I know in Haiti there is a figure of a very slim individual, very tall and lanky, stooping or kneeling on one knee in a crouching position, blowing the very conch shell. That St. Kitts has depicted the same monument is not surprising, since most of us in the region, as I said earlier, utilize the conch shell as a means of communication. So the fact that the conch shell is the instrument of choice, it is in keeping with our history throughout the region, and I suppose further afield as well.
He also informed us that Chief Cultural Officer Raymond Lawrence, during the early stages of the monument, was extremely excited that it is being designed and crafted in Dominica by Dominicans. Mr. Zamo noted that one of the individuals who worked on the monument converted regular concrete objects. There were different conversations about this individual being white. However, he has a Dominican heritage and was glad to be accepted as a Dominican and one of the monument's contributors.
Scottish, he was born and raised in Scotland. But his parents, his mother was Dominican from Scotshead, and his father is Barbados. So he has Dominican roots, and he was more than willing to do the marbleizing at very short notice. And I think he did a wonderful job, and that was echoed in the sentiments of the viewers who at the unveiling of the monument. I think they appreciated very much what he did. Not many of them knew that he has a Dominican parentage, and I think that should not have been a problem, but that was echoed.
August 1st, 2013 marked the 175th anniversary of Dominica's emancipation from slavery. In more news, Lead Institute student Kayla Jajak is Dominica's top performer in the CXC May/June 2013 Caribbean Advanced Proficiency Examinations CAPE. Ms. Jajak, currently enrolled as a humanities major in the CXC CAPE Associate Degree Program at the Lead Institute, secured 1 Grade 3, 3 Grade 2s, and a Grade 3 in the 5 CAPE subjects taken in the exam. She was awarded Grade 1 in Accounts Unit 1, Grade 2s in Caribbean Studies, Communication Studies and Sociology Unit 1, and a Grade 3 in Economics Unit 1. Ms. Jajak stated this was only possible through hard work, and she is happy with her achievement.
Accounts is a practical subject, so it's a matter of practice. So once you get practicing, you always get it. You cannot leave accounts to say you study for it last minute. You have to keep pushing at it, and then you'll see that it's not as difficult as people may perceive it to be.
In addition to distinguishing herself as the island's top performer at CAPE, Ms. Jajak also became the first Dominican student to write 5 CAPE exams at one sitting and excelled in all.
What would you say was your formula for success?
Well, I did a lot of preparation on my own. I did a lot of past papers, a lot of research, and you always have to pay attention in class because some of the lecturers might say you might not read in a book, or even if you read in a book, you might not have picked it up otherwise. So you keep reading on your own, you listen attentively in class, and you do a lot of past papers.
The 18-year-old noted she felt it was a better opportunity for her to attend the Lead Institute rather than the Dominica State College. Ms. Jajak stated since her success at the examinations, she has been receiving a lot of commendations from friends, family, and well-wishers alike.
Currently, I have to finish my second year so I could get my associate degree in humanities at the Lead Institute. After that, most likely I will work for an additional year and then move on to do my bachelor's degree in law at University of Midwestern.
Anything you want, you have to work hard for it, and there is no reward in being lazy, she explained.
You always have to take your education seriously. Right now, things are getting so difficult, and my mother always tells me, just now, to become a scavenger, you will need a degree. So what I think is that everybody needs to pay attention to their education, take it seriously. You need to go up there and get yourself qualified because that is what they are looking for on the job. You need to get yourself qualified.
Mr. David Vital, director of the Lead Institute, in recognition of her scholastic achievements, presented Ms. Jajak with a partial scholarship of $500, which will go towards tuition payments during her second year of studies. He stated that it is their hope that Ms. Jajak's success will inspire others, both prospective and continuing students, to aspire to excel in their academic pursuits. Some 30 students from the Lead Institute wrote the CAPE exams, achieving an overall pass of 70%. Prospective students wishing to enroll at the Lead Institute for the 2013 to 2014 academic year still have an opportunity to do so during the next 2 weeks. In other news, President of CARIMAN, Caribbean Male Actions Network, Mr. Thomas Holmes, has been recognized as a role model by several of the young men he has worked with over the years. CARIMAN, a male organization, caters for the needs of men as well as creates a space where young males can assemble and discuss issues that affect their lives and significant others. Mr. Holmes said gender-based violence has been a major issue for over decades, and very often young men are the ones involved.
What CARIMAN is doing is to bring men together, adults, matured young men, and so bring them together and then discuss what we can do to end gender-based violence, but also what we can do to uplift, to enhance the life of men, especially boys and young men. So CARIMAN is placed at a point where we are looking at what we need to do to help young men develop themselves, And you're talking about total development. You're talking about the physical when you think of health, and also the mental health. We are talking about their personal development, social development, spiritual development, and also academic development. So we have done quite a bit, in that relation to help them.
Carryman began in 2009 and is currently implemented in 12 Caribbean countries, Dominica being the leading country. On February 3, 2012, the government legally established the organization as NGO, non-government organization. As part of the upcoming activities carded, Carryman will be revising issues to end gender-based violence. This will be conducted through an anti-bullying program. Young male inmates at the Dominica State Prison will also be participating in these events.
We have meetings with the superintendent, we have discussed what we intend to do, so all we're doing now is they're waiting for the funding. We have presented our proposals to couple agencies, including Digicel. So we are waiting on financing. And then we are also, now our next activity coming up, we are going to have what we call revisiting family values. And that is what we had at the symposium on violence. And then this entails using the Character Count program. We have this program in the school, and this program relates to 6 pillars of character, and which are trustworthiness, respect, responsibility, fairness, caring, and being a good citizen.
Another activity expected is the combining of Carryman and the Ministry of Education to develop an anti-bullying policy. The reasons and causes for bullying will be identified throughout this policy.
And who are the people being bullied, and who are the people bullying others. So when we identify this, we're going to identify this through surveys. So we have a survey for the principal and teachers, we have a survey for parents, and we also have a survey for the students. And already we have written to the Ministry of Education, the permanent secretary, and then we have received the okay to go ahead and do that in our schools. And then we have already drafted the survey form, and then we have sent it to different stakeholders, including the Ministry of Education.
Some of the areas Carryman will work with in the near future include Grand Bay and Newtown. In more stories, for decades, the Cooperative Societies League has been awarding scholarships, initially to students based on merit, and later ventured into providing scholarships based on need. The League continues to place great emphasis in the education sector, and on Wednesday, August 14th, awarded 2 students with scholarships for the year 2013. This year, Makala Bedno of the Salisbury Primary School, who placed 5th in the Grade 6 National Assessments, is the holder of the Geoffrey Robinson Scholarship based on merit.
I am thankful for the Credit Union Scholarship because they helped me a lot. They gave me my textbooks, paid my fees, and made it really easier for me and my family. So thank you very much.
Amy Filbert is the second recipient of the Sister Alicia Scholarship 2013 based on need.
I would like to say a very thankful to the credit union for making me part of their scholarship giving award. They made it very easier for my family, and I would really like to say thank you.
Mr. Dexter Ducree, president of the League, said one of the traditions of the League is giving scholarships.
The 2 scholarships are to attend a secondary school and consist of the following. 1. All school fees are paid for the 5 years. All textbooks and stationeries are provided. Uniform allowance is paid of $250 in the first year and in the 3rd year. Commuter allowance is paid $50 per month, provided the student do not leave half a mile radius within the school. And of course, all CXC examination fees are paid.
Over the last 4 years, the League has set the spend in excess of $60,000 on scholarship expenses. Mr. Ducree congratulated the recipients of the scholarships and urged them to make their parents proud. He encouraged them to seize the opportunity to learn, so in the future they will be able to provide for their families and demand their rightful place in developing Dominica. Both awardees will be attending the Convent High School in September. In other stories, the French Consular Agency in Dominica is pleased to announce that as of 12 August 2013, residents of the OECS member states applying for a visa for less than 90 days at this embassy will no longer be required to come in person for fingerprinting and interview. Mr. Hervé Nizad, honorary French consul in Dominica, says persons who wish to travel for more than 90 days will have to contact the visa section. Applications can be made in the following manner: by express mail, FedEx, DHL, or Liat's Quick Pack. A complete file along with a bank draft payable to the French embassy. The exact amount must be verified by calling the embassy at 1-758-455-6075. By a representative, this person must present an authorization letter signed by the applicant, and the complete file must be submitted to the visa section by appointment. Please call the visa section at 1-758-455-6075 to schedule the appointment. Please consult our website www.amberfrance-lc.org/short-stay-visa for the requirements as well as the application form. In both cases, applicants must contact the visa section of the embassy in order to obtain the correct administrative fee for the bank draft, as this amount can fluctuate every 1st and 16th of the month. These new procedures do not apply to persons residing in St. Lucia. In more stories, in an effort to continue its aircraft refleeting and modernizing process, Regional Airline Liat, during a very special and historic ceremony, signed an agreement relating to a loan of US $65 million from the Caribbean Development Bank. Liat has spent US $100 million for the fleet of 12 new ATR 72-600 aircrafts in order to provide a very essential service to Caribbean travelers. For 57 years, Liat, with the support of a few shareholder governments, has survived the slings and arrows of outrageous misfortunes. In its quest to connect the English, French, Spanish, and Dutch Caribbean people scattered among 21 countries, the airline defied predictions of its collapse by those who have themselves failed to stay on course. According to Mr. Gene Holder, chairman of Liat, by 2012, the frequent breakdown of the existing 21-year-old Liat aircraft had made it difficult to fulfill the demands of a schedule designed in response to the demands of a service requested by the Caribbean countries. This resulted in poor on-time performance and constant dissatisfaction of customers. A refleeting committee was therefore established in 2012 to examine what needed to be done. Ultimately, after considering several factors, the Fleet Committee recommended that the best decision was to change the entire fleet. He noted that by mid-January 2014, thanks to the additional loan, 7 of the 12 new aircrafts will be available to provide the public with a better and a more comfortable air transportation service. Mr. Holder added they are also aware that the stresses and the strains of the summer have tested the quality of their customer service. He said they are hard at work with a number of expert agencies seeking to achieve the desired standards. With the help of the new aircraft, we hope to increase the number of passengers transported via Liat exponentially. In other stories, O'Neill Libla from the St. Mary's Academy, who obtained 11 ones, is among the top 42 students who sat the Caribbean Secondary Education Certificate CSEC for the year 2013. The Ministry of Education revealed the results on Wednesday, August 14th, at a press release held at the Public Training Center. 1,040 students from Dominica sat the CSEC examinations in 31 different subject areas. Melina Fontaine, in her address at the press release, said although Dominica has a lot of work to do in terms of student performances, we are on the right track.
Caribbean average overall for 2013 is 65%. For Dominica, it's 75%. Last year it was 62% if you want to use that, and we were 65%. For mathematics, the Caribbean average or the regional average is 35% this year, and Dominica 36%. So while it's low for the region, but we did go above the region. For language, it's 57%. For Dominica, it is 73.3%. So in language, we are doing well. We wish for 100%, but you never get 100% for certain things.
Other top performers were Alex Marie G. Roberts from the Convent High School and Elisha Zareth Teet from the Pierre Charles Secondary School. Both obtained 10 grade 1s and 1 grade 2. Jade D.C. Alexander of the Convent High School received 10 1s, and Lizette Ellen Eli of the Pierre Charles Secondary School obtained 9 1s and 2 2s respectively. Daislyn Vidal of the Isaiah Thomas Secondary School received 9 grade 1s and 1 grade 2, while Juanita Michelle Corbett of the Portsmouth Secondary School obtained 9 grade 1s. This year, Dominica recorded the highest number of grades 1 to 3 since recording began. It is also the second highest year for students obtaining grades 1 to 3 in mathematics and the third highest for English A. The overall success rate is 74.7% in the May to June 2013 CSEC examinations, which indicates a significant improvement in the performance of students. And in court news, 25-year-old Patrick Telemaque will have enough time to plan a more positive future after being sentenced to 1 year imprisonment following his appearance at the Roseau Magistrate Court on Tuesday, August 13th. Telemaque, who appeared before Magistrate Candia George, was slapped with the charge of robbery and theft of a gold chain and pendant and a gold wristlet valued at US $3,090, equivalent to EC $8,400. Because he pleaded guilty to theft, the prosecution withdrew the robbery charge. According to the facts of the case, on Thursday, June 13th at about 12:50 p.m. in Maho, the virtual complainant, Ashton Alexander, was on business and engaged in a conversation with another individual. They both went into an area commonly referred to as the hole on the bayside. Telemaque then came from behind Alexander and attacked him with a cutlass. Alexander then ran towards the bayside, but unfortunately Telemaque had already grabbed a gold chain and wristlet which the virtual complainant was wearing. A report was made. Telemaque told the court that he sold the jewelry to a jewelry store in Roseau. None of the jewelry items were recovered. His attorney, Wayne Norde, argued for a non-custodial sentence for his client, stating that he fully cooperated with the police and pled guilty. In addition, he offered to pay for the stolen items and was remorseful for his actions. However, his client's criminal past worked against him, as the magistrate, after looking at his police record, noted he had been convicted for 7 previous incidents. Alexander was advised to sue Telemaque for compensation of his stolen jewelry after he has served his time in prison. This has been the local segment of the news. Coming up next, the regional highlights.
Have you ever wanted to order on the internet but don't own a credit card, or you're just fed up of the high prices of items locally? Well, the solution is Kemet's Online Services. Kemet's Online Services order a wide variety of items and get your items in as quick as 5 to 10 days. For placing orders or for more information, call 614-9550. The sky's the limit with Kemet's Online Services.